This Thursday night football prop bets edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money your aim with my partner in picks, Ryan. Real money Kramer. What's happening, Cram?
Dog. I feel maybe some Vegas lag in the brain right now. A little fog.
It's like jet lag, but just for Vegas. I mean, we can't. It's only 45-minute flight. There's no time zone, but it does feel like you're in a different world.
I think what it is when you come back on a Monday, like you enter. It's like jumping into a river that's flowing quickly down the stream. Everyone else is going at a different speed. You get off the plane in Burbank at 2:00 in the afternoon. It's like, hey, what's up? Hot as shit in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
20 degrees hotter than Vegas. Would you say?
It is crazy. I can't remember a time coming back from Vegas where it was hotter, landing in the beautiful Burbank airport. But Ryan,
yeah.
What a game as far as the props. I mean,
can I pull back the curtain?
Sure.
As you know, we've been very profitable hitting with backup running backs, but more importantly with Jordan Mason. In fact, we broke the last touchdown market last year, if you remember, with Jordan Mason early in the season. And as I was breaking down, I think we might have even touched on it on the props segment of the show. Thought that whether it's Juszczyk or Mason, there was an opportunity for a backup running back, maybe the starter Christian McCaffrey. A little banged up. They don't want to lean on him too hard. So thought about playing it, but I was like, matchup's too hard. I'm going to leave Mason and or my guy, shout out to the helmet in front of us, Kyle Juszczyk, off my card. And of course, didn't end up missing out on a first touchdown, fortunately.
But you missed out on a first touchdown sweat, Ryan. And I saw some people had Jordan Mason 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm in my own head right now because I spent most of the time yesterday thinking I was going to do my first single shot of the year, but I was like, I can't throw out a Bryce Hall 4-1. That's lame.
Yeah,
and it hit. So fuck off.
Bryce Hall hits. If you listen to the podcast, I gave Bryce Hall out anytime touchdown. Kramer and I both had Brock Purdy over 6.5 rushing yards. That was awesome. It was, it was just great.
Quentin Williams probably should have had a sack for us. So would have cashed the underdog ticket too.
I cashed the 3 props I gave out. The fantasy projection numbers were similar on Underdog.
Oh,
so I played that, and of course, the star of the night, Christian McCaffrey, opting out of football. Man, there are some people out there, Ryan, who are not aware of our podcast who woke up after having their Cincinnati Bengals eliminate them in the survivor pool, thinking, "Oh, I'm down 12 points. I got my first overall pick, Christian McCaffrey, going tonight. I'll be okay." And no, Christian McCaffrey, like I said from even before the any of this came out, I got to find when I first predicted the injury. It was like March. He had 400 touches. He's not going to be healthy this entire season. Oh, it's just a little calf thing. He'll be fine. Then he's limited in practice. Oh, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
And I unfortunately used it to end up picking the Jets, but I said go under because there was no way this guy was healthy. If he was going to decide to play, decided not to play, and now it sounds like he might even not play next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So hopefully, I know it's impossible to predict injury, but somehow I found a way. Ryan, how did I do it?
I feel like we need to talk to someone and I mean, maybe recirculate some clips. Should we recirculate the original injury prognostication?
Oh yeah,
as a proper tout session. Maybe tag fantasy receipts. let them know this is a positive receipt that you can cash.
Yeah. So just being right about Christian McCaffrey not being healthy, I think was the highlight of my.
You're not allowed to do that though.
Why?
Well, you didn't have anything to do with the injury.
What do you mean?
You can't tout that.
What do you mean?
You can't. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay.
That's people are going to come after you.
How so?
Well, they don't like when you talk with. They don't like when you predict injury. When you point out the fact that the reason why unders work out better than overs is because injury is in the range of outcome. You don't say the quiet part out loud, Sean.
Right. This is
you're not supposed to talk about that. We don't root for injury.
I'm in the chat right now. YouTube.com/sportsgaming podcast. Turn the notifications on so you get access to the live chat. Olan saying, how y'all like that Bears win? Duh, Bears. If you're a Bears fan and you're celebrating that win, my God, has it been a cold winter for your Bears fans? I get it. Congrats, hats off, but don't come talking shit about that Bears win. I mean, Caleb, as a Bears fan, I would be not saying anything because the story that got swept under the rug was Caleb Williams not looking that good. Now, granted, it is only one game, but I would not be poking the bear as a Bears fan, Ryan.
All right. So off the top of your head, rank the rookie quarterbacks right now.
It's interesting.
Because upon further review, they were all pretty bad.
Jaden Daniels, pretty bad. At least did a little something with the running. Bo Nix, pretty bad. Couple bad interceptions.
Go back and watch. Just go back and track how much of Jaden Daniels' production was once the game was out.
Oh yeah, no, I mean he had a couple nice runs, but that was it. I don't know. I mean, Caleb Williams was really bad. I think Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, and Jaden Daniels all looked really bad. I don't know who you would pick to carry
Drake
the
May.
flag. Drake May?
Yeah, I'm putting him number one.
Okay, because he didn't play.
Yeah, he's getting. He's getting time to prepare.
Well, if he does come off the bench and end up taking to the Patriots to the playoffs, his rookie of the year I think would be looking pretty good. So that would be a crazy story.
And now I don't want to overreact, but it kind of seems like I know Bryce Young's pretty bad, but all of these guys are in the same level as Bryce Young land to me, and that I would take any Jaden Daniels. I would put to the side.
Obviously, I would take any of the rookies and Will Levis over Bryce Young by a wide. To me,
but they look like Bryce Young did.
They all had poor games for sure, but all those quarterbacks. I mean, again, the rookies you can't really judge off one game. Will Levis at least had a couple moments where he looked good last year.
Not this year.
Bryce Young has not had a good moment yet. I mean, Ryan.
I see he was?
I saw it was one of the most picked Panthers +4. One of the most picked picks in the Super Contest. What? And it was not even close. I'm so pissed I didn't lock up the Saints.
I might have this number wrong, but I saw on the internet verse
last year. That's I keep coming back to that stat of last year. They were never ahead in a fourth quarter. Bryce Young started and played 16 games. How is that not a massive red flag to scare you off?
A couple of things that blew my mind when I looked at the numbers. One, how many quarterbacks Dan Jones finished ahead of in EPA per play? Two, Bryce Young lost a half point every time he snapped the ball. Think about that. Or every time he dropped back to pass. Think about that. Imagine losing a half point every time you take a snap and throw the ball. That's unbelievably bad. Anyway, we can move on. Yeah, I think I put Drake May 1, Michael Penix 2. Rest of them looked really bad.
Well, Michael Penix, Ryan, how long is that Kirk Cousins leash? We kind of hit on it a little bit last night at the recap show, but how long is that Kirk Cousins leash? Because you draft a guy in the top 10, your seat is getting pretty hot as a general manager. What gives you any sort of hope? What gives you hope is a look towards the future. And already it was a rough start with Kirk Cousins, rough start with the offense. I thought that I can't tell if the Falcons defense played good or if it was just the Pittsburgh offense isn't designed to score points. But I think if you're a Falcons like GM, you gotta, if you're going to get fired, don't you just start Michael Penix at some point just in case he looks awesome and it keeps you your job?
I mean, I think the reality of the situation is, as bad as Kirk Cousins looks, there's almost no way that Michael Penix will look better, because a lot of this was the offensive line that we were told was going to be very good. And, you know, again, another, you know, put a check mark in the things we were right on. Lack of organizational structure, a lot of fragility there. What do? They come out of a country club training camp, look like shit, lose to a horrible, I mean, that's the other thing. The Steelers' performance. Now I'm less excited about them. I look at I start diving into stuff. They didn't play very good. Justin Fields didn't play very good. Turns out TJ Watt probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year if this is how the games go.
I've said it before and I'll reiterate it. If there's ever going to be a defensive player to win MVP again, I think it would to me it's TJ Watt by a mile, because
I mean, if this team manages to, you know, go on a little bit of a run like we think they might, you got to, I mean, a lot of other things have to be going on in the season, but man, just couldn't have been more thrilled with that one. But yeah, I think we should probably put out a weekly rookie power rankings just so we can rank the guys who haven't played ahead of the guys who have played.
That would be great.
I know you didn't say anything bad about Bo Nix, but upon further review, it got worse, I would say, in terms of my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bo Nix, the zip he had on the ball, the fact that he kept his eyes downfield the entire time, the boot action stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think Seattle's defense was actually probably the best one that the rookies faced. So there were some positives with Bo Nix. Scored a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the guys who at least ran a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit of a positive.
I mean, Jaden Daniels, I'm not even trying to shit on Jaden Daniels. Like, part of it to me is just like, who is around the Commanders on that offensive team? Like, they just have so many problems. I think it's going to be tough to evaluate him.
What? You don't like their skill positions?
No.
Okay. I mean, Terry McLaurin's a pretty good, like that's a number one receiver.
Okay.
I think Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler are pretty solid. I mean, you saw how many cap passes they were catching from Jaden Daniels. I mean, if anything, they helped elevate.
I don't know. I don't think. Well, maybe it was just the game plan, but I don't think they
throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
It was
and
a
I
lot
guess
of
whose fault is that?
Coach is being scared because they don't think he can handle it yet. That would be my guess.
Okay. You
don't think so? Well, otherwise, why not?
I don't think Terry McLaurin's good, but I don't think Austin Eckler is amazing. I think Brian Robinson's okay.
Luke McCaffrey looked pretty good. I mean,
so you're high on this Commanders team, or no? Because of rookie quarterback.
I think Jaden Daniels refused to throw the ball down the field.
Okay.
I thought he only looked good once the game was out of hand. But I wouldn't blame it on the skill position. I blame it on the offensive line and the play calling. I mean, you don't agree? They didn't take any shots. They did nothing down the field. Everything was at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I would have to look at the film and see, are these guys not getting open, or are they just
no, but he had the fastest release. So it's like not even about the guys getting open. He's just getting rid of it. I mean, there are just a lot of metrics that showed that he's probably going to take a little bit to get going. But his legs make him the most interesting, especially from a prop perspective. How does he not hit his? I mean, they're going to have to make his rushing total so high.
Yeah. Well, that seemed like all they had going. All right. Let's turn the corner, talk a little Thursday night props before we do. Of course, shout out to Rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Get in the lab. I went, gave out 3 props last night for Monday Night Football, and 2-0-1 with the opt out of Christian McCaffrey, and got all the numbers from Rhythm. And I'm going to hop in the lab real quick because I was firing up the Rhythm app. Got my models firing on all cylinders. Love the props button. Just hit props. And you can hit all props, the different type of props you want to get info on, plays on. I am all over this prop. So is Rhythm. I don't even know how this is. Ryan, how is this? The pricing's crazy. What are they doing here? Josh Allen, anytime touchdown, -105. You can probably shop around, get it at even money. I'm all in on this. Rhythm loves it. I love it. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Last 15 games, Josh Allen has got a rushing touchdown in 12 of them. So 12-3 to this bet, which is even money most places. Now, some of those are playoff games, but I think he's going to get up for this Thursday night game. And he's not afraid to put the team on his back. I love it. Rhythm loves it. That's all I need to hear. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Kramer, what do you got? What's your first prop?
I mean, I assume relatively limited slate, but I assume we're on the same page with this one because there's no reason to not play Josh Allen anytime touchdown. Is that one of yours?
Are you kidding?
What?
I just did a whole minute on Josh Allen.
Rhythm. Yeah, I know you loved it and Rhythm loved it. I didn't know if it was an official play on the show.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of shit over here, Sean.
All right.
It's an obvious play. It seems like the game plan switched over to just go play ball, Josh.
Yes.
I mean, does it even seem like it seems like they're going to be a power running team that when it matters, they're going to run plays where Josh rolls out and does Josh things, which means high variance. But how does he not find the end zone?
Yeah, no, 100% in on Josh Allen. Anytime touchdown. Also, another prop I got. I think no, Rhythm's not. I don't think they have a projection yet on this because the both Mostert and Achane are both out. Or sorry, out of practice, at least DNP for this
Achane guy. Well, he has huge games, and then it's like you have to look really closely, and it's like, well, wait a second, is he practicing this week? What the fuck?
Mostert and Achane DNP. So I think what we do is get ahead of it, play Jalen Wright anytime touchdown at +230. Now, if both are healthy, I think like Jalen Wright was a healthy scratch week 1 because both Mostert and Achane played. So if he's a healthy scratch, you get your money back. It's going to be no contest. If Mostert and or Achane are out, if both are out, you're in an amazing spot. Even if one is out and the other's not 100%, I still think you're pretty good. I mean, not practicing on Monday for a Thursday game, even though they're at home, that to me is a good sign. And I feel like this Jalen Wright price is only going to go down.
It does seem like it's rapidly going down, to your point. I would imagine practice tomorrow will be a big deal, but yeah, I mean, isn't this? It's crazy how they do this, but they just slot guys in the run game.
How's the slot?
I wonder how it's going to look. It did seem like a lot of it was Devin Achane, not so much the offensive line, but yeah, I like your angle. I have no contention with that.
And it seemed like, just eye test. There was some opportunities moving the football on this Bills defense without Matt Milano. Now, obviously, Josh Allen put the team on his back, but I think there's, they're going to have their hands full. Even though I don't love Tua, this is going to be an interesting matchup for him. I especially like the Dolphins running game in this. I don't know how I feel quite about the passing game, but I think whoever's running the ball is going to get some looks, and maybe even Jeff Wilson could be interesting. Jeff Wilson had 5 carries, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I love the Jalen Wright angle because I definitely think he's going to see some action.
All right, so I hopped over to the game props. We haven't talked about any of these. I don't think yet. But how do both teams not score 20 points in this game? I think both teams showed that their defense had some leakiness. I mean, if they play the same way they did against the Cardinals, the Dolphins are going to roast them. And to me, the Dolphins defense is going to have problems against the deep shot. And guess what? We haven't seen it from Josh Allen yet, but I have a feeling a couple deep ones to Shakir, maybe Coleman coming in order. So both teams to score 20 points is -110.
Yeah, and it's still, I know my Thursday night Florida teams at home angle, which both Florida teams who are at home went undefeated. That streak continues. Now Miami didn't get the hook, but still got the win there. Won by 3. It's still going to be 83 degrees with 80% humidity. Looking at kickoff, so I think it's still going to be hot, sticky. And it'll be interesting to see. I think especially if you're the Bills defense, you tackled a bunch. We see this all the time. Teams use September as kind of a preseason, and that short travel week. I used to not think early on it mattered, but now that I'm like, if they're not fully conditioned, I could see some tackling being an issue. Again, why kind of like Jalen Wright, some of the rushing stuff. Probably taking out some yardage props once those come out. My third prop, Ryan.
They did look pretty in shape. Buffalo.
Okay.
They closed the game well, I thought.
Yeah, offensively. I still think defensively, they poor tackling on the kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, that was also just a nice play.
Third prop, my boy Matt Collins anytime touchdown plus 350. 9 Buffalo Bills had a catch. So Matt Collins might be the Buffalo Bills #1 receiver. If not, it's him or Keon Coleman. I mean, Keon Coleman.
It's definitely Keon Coleman. And unfortunately, Keon Coleman also received more opportunities in the red zone. But Matt Collins he's there.
Yeah,
like he will be out on the field. I don't know if you watched the game, but if you saw he got into a couple different scraps.
Yes.
I mean,
this guy's it's just perfect for Buffalo. And yeah, Keon's the #1, but I wouldn't be surprised if some games, if Ramsey is able to play, maybe they put him on Keon Coleman and Matt Collins. I would not be shocked if we have different weeks, different guys get the most targets. Keon Coleman is still a rookie. I'm sure they like some of their matchups against the Card secondary, but Matt Collins anytime touchdown plus 350. 9 Bills had a catch, so I do think they're going to spread the ball. Matt Collins, 58% snap share and a red zone look. What more do you need from Matt Collins, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean he might, his target, like his route participation is probably slightly less impressive than his snap share. He's often out there to block. I mean, that's part of why you like him though, because they're going to be running a lot of heavy personnel, 2 tight ends and Matt Collins. Who wants to mess with that? All right, last one. I decided to get weird. First drive result. Have we ever gone down this cul-de-sac on the prop show? Because all right, the run game, as you've been highlighting, if all these guys don't play, Jalen Wright, maybe he's nice, but I think maybe they lose a little bit on that first drive. The way you attack the void of Matt Milano is with the running back. So if Achane and Mostert both aren't playing, maybe the Dolphins offense starts a touch slow. So I'm going to take the heavy dog price on Dolphins first drive results in a punt plus 175. Again, it's just playing the angle that if they don't have that running game cooking, it's generally the thing. 2 things happened in the Jacksonville game that I saw. One, Jacksonville couldn't stop the wide running. They just couldn't handle the speed. And 2, they couldn't handle the speed vertically down the field. And so if they're not able to use the horizontal speed because Achane and Mostert aren't out there, and again Jalen Wright rookie, Jeff Wilson not exactly the same type of running back. I don't know, fun angle.
Yeah, no.
Also, the Bills looked like shit early in the game, so McDermott will make a point to start faster, I think, and they'll be fatigued as the game goes on. So this would be the best you'll get from the Bills defense.
Coming out swinging early.
Yeah, they haven't showed the thermometer yet, even though it's a night game.
Yeah, and Dolphins started off slow last game, and obviously a bunch of distractions with Tyreek Hill getting detained. He didn't get actually arrested. He did get detained. Did you watch the video, Ryan?
Of course, I watched.
Okay, what's your hot take?
I would say that, like most altercations in life, it probably is avoided if there's a guy like it took one guy to really take it to the next level. It reminded me of the slot machine incident at the bar.
The slot.
Where
yes, we didn't talk about this on the show.
Like it's one of these things like when a police officer gets mad when someone escalates their voice at them and their response is to escalate back. You have this moment of like, are we in kindergarten? Like, what the fuck is happening here?
So it's like one little, couple little dogs start barking at each other.
2, if you're this cop, like either you're a real dumbass. Okay, you're handling a Miami Dolphin who's about to play in a game. Sure, he was driving a little fast in his Lamborghini. but I mean, come on, like there was a weird element where it went from like, all right, this is normal. Tyreek Hill's kind of being an asshole.
Yeah.
To what the fuck? And then like even the way that they approached Calais Campbell and Jonnu Smith, it became like, oh, okay, like now, like you're just trying to pick a fight, much like the guy who stole our seat at the bar.
Going back to that, it was a huge group of us. We are all sitting in a row.
8 guys?
8 guys, and we had like 6 seats.
We were eating. There was like garbage
at a bar, and they have the video poker machines. One of the seats Cousin Mush was at. He went up to use the bathroom, whatever. But like clearly, there's a group of us, and then this dude out of nowhere just sits down, and immediately we're like, "Hey, sorry, buddy, someone's sitting there." And it's happened to me many times where you sit down, and then if they go, "Oh, hey, someone's sitting there," you go, "Oh, okay, my bad." But this guy was just like adamantly fighting it. No, you didn't have a player's card in there. Then the bartender, he comes over. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I can call security. Security comes over. They're like, well, if he's playing the machine, we're like, what the fuck? Like,
it turned out that by law they can't restrict access from someone gambling, basically.
That's such a Vegas rule.
And I'm looking at these security guards, which
basically, if you're putting money in a machine, you can do whatever you want. I've realized that.
I look at all these security guards are younger than me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, you realize what you're doing is you're telling me to go deal with it. Is that really what you want? And they have this look of like, all right, we have to talk to our manager. And it's like, that's the same thing that happened here. You have someone that decides to, okay, here's what I'm allowed to do. I'm going to do all of that and maybe a touch more because I'm a tough guy. And what I never get, and I mean, no disrespect by this, but if you are professionally trained at disarming situations, disarming people, why is it you always need to use slightly excessive force once the person's in handcuffs? Like,
well, I don't know if they, I don't know if they
you go into a UFC octagon, like you wait till the guy's knocked out to go on to get crazy. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know if they are really trained to de-escalate. A lot of it's reactionary, and the police officer it's a respect thing. The police officer feels like he's getting disrespected. Tyreek Hill feels like he's getting disrespected. So now they're in this disrespect off, much like with the guy sitting down at our slot machine where it's like, hey dude, you're disrespecting me, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, if the guy just said, hey, can I sit down and play some video poker here for a little bit? Do you guys mind? We'd be like, fine. But he was just being such an asshole about it. Finally I go, dude, there's another seat down there. Why don't we just save all this and you move over there? And he goes, okay. He goes, it was never about that. I'm like, clearly it was about that. There are a million machines to sit and play video poker at. You went, and like the group of guys we were hanging out with was talking to him earlier. So it was
like he knew we were there.
Yeah.
And and then he gets up. Well, I don't think, maybe you weren't there for the end part, but he gets up and then he has to make contact with me again. I mean, I might not have moved out of his way, but it's like, fuck you, dude.
And he's like, oh, I can get the homies over here. Like, we're not scared of you. It was a very funny, just completely. I go, dude, we're just all getting drunk watching college football. You don't have to be an asshole about it. It reminded me of a similar incident years ago where this woman was really mad that we were sitting in apparently like a seat she thought she was entitled to, even though we sat there way before her. We're there for hours. And then and she was like trying to commandeer the seat, and we're like, no, we're using the seat. And she was being a huge bitch. And Colby at one point said, I'm going to blow snot in your hair. So, some weird, like,
something only Colby would.
Yeah. Some weird, like, insult / like threat, but obviously not like it's just like a weird line. And then she says, I put a hex on you. I curse you. And so still never broken that curse, Ryan. Although the Eagles did beat the Chiefs last year, and I was sitting in a very similar spot. The curse was going through my head. Maybe she's a witch. Maybe that's why we're down. Pull out the victory though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think you were there for when the woman came by and tried to steal the chair.
No.
Similar situation to what you're describing. Like this, just this like unbelievable level of I don't give a fuck. Just came over, sat down in the chair, look over at her, be like, someone's sitting there. Like there's ranch dressing in front of the seat. Like you're sliding the ranch dressing over. Oh, I didn't see anyone sitting there, so I thought it would be okay if I sat here. It's not okay if you sit here. Like, why is it you have to be an asshole? It's like this is what happens when people don't get punched in the face, Sean.
Yes, I agree, Ryan. We need to punch more people in the face. That would be a little.
Everyone's got a plan.
It would be a little bit of a wake up call. Shout out to It's Eric tossing a couple bucks our way on the old YouTube super chat saying, Bo Nix and y'all's props tonight saved my weekend. Yeah, Bo Nix anytime touchdown. That was a sweet cash. And then yeah, so it was a nice little run there, especially with props, Ryan. I feel like we dominated. Did we give out? Sure, that crazy underdog entry we gave out didn't hit. And no first touchdowns, but other than that, didn't we? The 3 you gave out all hit, right? And I went 2-0. Of course, one no contest because Christian McCaffrey didn't want any part of that action. We're gonna give out another underdog entry for Thursday Night Football and talk about our favorite first touchdowns. And friendly reminder: head over to UnderdogFantasy.com, use the promo code SGP. And get your set up, get a deposit bonus up to $1,000 in cash. I just used the 20% profit boost on my entry tonight. They're really good about tossing in some higher a half receiving yards for Travis Kelce. That came in for everyone who played that on Thursday. They even have a 10% deposit bonus going on for existing customers. That's for some of these places. It's like, hey, the new customers, it's great when you use the promo code SGPN, UnderdogFantasy.com. But what about the OGs? They're always putting in some great little offers there in the lobby. And yeah, it's usually, much better odds, and they max it like 10, 20. And they've been upping them, and you can use them. Like the no sweat one I used, that was super fun because it's like, hey, you can put up to $10 on it and you get it back if it doesn't hit. So it's like max 4 entry. I'm finding the spiciest things I can put together because hey, worst case I get it back. So many ways to win over at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
I know these profit boosts. Just constant boost. It's just every time I log in, I got a new boost.
Reminds me of Fast and Furious. Gone in 60 Seconds, right? Isn't that what they use the term boosting for stealing cars?
Oh yeah.
All right, first touchdown. I'm going with just the one guy per team formula.
Really?
Now. Yeah.
Chopping your unit in half, huh?
I'm not going to tell people what to do with their unit. But I am going to say, if you're playing first touchdown, a little sprinkle on Ray Davis, 45-1 of the Buffalo Bills.
It's just I had a suspicion you might go there tonight.
Really? Why? What about me said Ray Davis?
Oh, he's a backup running back, and he got a touch.
He had 6 snaps, including 3 carries for 13 yards, design, target, and reception, 1 catch for 14. And one of those carries was in the red zone. So 6 snaps, 4 touches. That means they have a plan for Ray Davis. And I think until this Bills team really figures out who their guys are and who aren't their guys, and maybe it's just, hey, we got Josh Allen and a bunch of hungry guys around him. Which was a formula that seemed to work for their offense. Some people thought it was just going to be run around Dalton Kincaid. Dawson Knox had a couple catches. I just think a lot of this long shot stuff is interesting until we see otherwise. So, and then my Dolphins first touchdown. I'm just running it back. Jalen Wright, 13-1 right now. I think get it now. If both Mostert and Achane are healthy and he's scratched, we'll tweet out something else. But I think you play Jalen right now.
You got to play that.
Yeah.
There's no reason to not play that. And honestly, I thought you would. I thought you were going to come with Matt Collins, 25-1.
Yeah. No, that one's good too.
Josh Allen's at the Josh Allen line, which is 8-1. I think the reason what got me off of the running backs is just I think Josh Allen's just going to be the guy running it, and so I'll take Matt Collins. I'll take Josh Allen, and then I'm with you with Jalen Wright. Grab it now because I mean, just look what the price would be. What's Achane? I don't have it in front of me, Sean, but I assume he's like 6-1. And so,
yeah, I mean, basically most
Jeff Wilson, I guess maybe is the guy that you're worried about, but I mean, that's why I'm just going to play both of them. I'm going to box up Jalen Wright and Jeff Wilson and hope that those guys don't play.
Yeah, most are not Chan. They're priced pretty much as if they're a go because they don't want to be caught hung out to dry otherwise. But
actually, no, I had a more fun second option that I forgot about. I'm
so give us the fun one, Ryan. What are you doing?
Well, as you know, I was a Jonnu Smith guy.
Yeah. How's he looking?
They're spreading the routes a little bit around like we thought they might. What's interesting is the way it's being distributed in the red zone and the fact that we're seeing Julian Hill out there a decent amount. In fact, he had the most overall snaps of the tight ends, very neck and neck. Durham Smythe actually led in the red zone, but I'm going to play a little bit of a long shot on Julian Hill at 30-1, maybe something more down the field. And so, yeah, I think with probably the next time we talk about the Dolphins, I'll be discussing maybe single shotting Tyreek Hill or Achan, but I'm going to take some shots here because I think if Achan and Mostert are out, it makes it very interesting.
Alec Ingold had I think he had did he get anything? Oh, that he had one target. That was it. Oh, and 2 carries for 8 yards.
No, yeah. So
both were for first down. So it seems, but I don't think either were in the red zone.
So red zone work. Yeah, only Achan, Hill, and Waddle saw opportunities. So again, that's why looking to see how the overall targets got distributed. I mean, seeing 6 targets go to the tight end, that's probably more than we were seeing last year. So maybe they're using the tight end more. And like I said, they seem to be rotating them. So take a gamble. We're able to get a 30-1 price on Julian Hill.
Yeah, I see Easy in the chat saying Alec Ingold 95-1 had 2 carries last night.
That's fine.
They were red zone, but I mean, come on. Nah, I don't hate a fullback carry for sure.
I will say if you want to get real slippery, the Quentin Morris price is 75-1. Yeah, they're not carrying a 4th tight end.
No, he's
and they have Reggie Gilliam, obviously.
I'm not going down the Reggie Gilliam rabbit hole once again. Oh, maybe I should. I don't know. I don't know how I get sucked into these backup tight ends, but Quentin Morris and I think Rhythm actually thought he was an interesting play.
I mean, again, that 3rd tight end for a team that's going to run a lot of 12 personnel is interesting because you're going to get some rotation. Maybe you're swapped in for Dalton Kincaid.
Ryan,
you want to add it to your card?
Quentin Morris adding to the card. He has 2 career touchdowns, one of which was against the Miami Dolphins. It's a sign. Nice. Quentin Morris, and he had a catch in the playoff game for 12 yards. So Quentin Morris. Sorry, what did you say he was setting?
75-1.
Okay, and I think
Reggie Gilliam 70-1. Alec Ingold. I'm seeing a price down at 65-1 now, but go find that 95-1. Go shop with Easy.
And I'm going to add Quentin Morris anytime touchdown because I think that was one that was flashing on the rhythm model as well. So Quentin Morris officially making the card. I was trying to just keep it one player in each team.
Do you want to know what his anytime price is?
Yeah. Do you have it?
1850.
Yes. So back. All right. I'm in.
Oh, we're seeing. Oh wow! All right,
Ryan, watch. I'll be a tout. 50% of Quentin Morris's touchdowns have come against the Miami Dolphins.
I'm clearly looking at a delay. Some old shit. Easy getting you better numbers. Quentin Morris 100-1 on FanDuel.
Okay.
Let's.
I'll update it to 100-1.
Gotta get on the phone with your. Julian Hill's 85-1 too. Oh my God!
I'll play Quentin Morris, Ryan.
I already bet that. All right.
All right.
As newbie says, we got to go to the blue book more often.
What about Underdog entry, Ryan? Not a ton out right now, but we'll be giving out some more as they pop up.
Well, and some of what the stuff that's out is potentially injury stuff with Achan. So I mean, look, the takeaway from week 1, if I'm looking to attack this game, is that I don't know if I really want to get involved in fading the idea of Tyreek Hill going under 100 yards. So I would say the first thing I would look at is Tyreek Hill 98.5 receiving yards.
You like going over that?
I like going higher than that.
Okay.
Simply because did you watch the game?
Yes.
Okay. I see no reason why they're not going to have more explosives against this defense. Like we said, what did they do last week? They sat back and forced Kyler to have to dink and dunk a little bit. I think that, I mean, maybe the running game being out forces more just force fed stuff to Tyreek too, like extension of the running game, screen pass type stuff.
So Tyreek Hill higher 98.5. And what about Keon Coleman? His number is sitting at 38.5. Are we going to go higher there as well?
That would be this. I mean, he got over 20% of the target share. You heard the way if you didn't catch the post game comments from Josh Allen, it's just very, very glowing about Keon Coleman. And
yeah, it feels like they'll be able to throw, especially Coleman, against him a little bit.
We did discuss this.
I mean,
in the
38.5 is pretty low.
We discussed this in the preseason that maybe Keon Coleman, even though Steph Diggs was a great receiver, maybe Keon Coleman is a better type of receiver for Josh Allen. Cause he does, I don't know. He kind of gives, he just seems like he's more of a freestyle guy. Like it seems like Keon Coleman and Shakir just give Josh an ability to freestyle. And you add a couple tight ends.
And
like they're just going to freestyle. Matt Collins out there using his hands to eat.
I mean, it really is this just ragtag group of people around Josh Allen. And I think that might end up being the best formula for this Bills offense. So Kramer and I, underdog entry, Tyreek Hill higher 98.5 receiving yards. Keon Coleman higher 38.5 receiving yards. My first touchdowns.
Hold on.
Yes.
Reset. A bunch of numbers just came up. We might have to.
Wow.
Do we want to amend?
Are they listening to the show as we?
Do we? Yeah, they just Underdog just opened the full projections. Do we want to make an update? Because I was only taking Tyreek Hill because he was the only interesting one.
Okay, so Ryan, here's what
reset that whole segment.
delete.
Well, no, we'll give you a bonus one.
Yeah,
we'll give you a bonus one.
Well, let's do this is a DGens only fantasy entry. You know what? Actually,
what does that mean?
Well, so Ryan, and this is great because they have a no sweat. You get pick 4, $10 max. If it doesn't hit, you get it back, or the 20% profit boost.
They got Matt Collins anytime. It's pretty.
Yes, okay. I put that in there right away. Higher 7.22. Oh, that one's mine. Do we also put in a Josh Allen? Oh wait, let's see.
Calais Campbell to get a sack is 2x.
Okay.
Do we want
to put Josh Allen's touchdown
anytime
higher in there? So now we need one Miami Dolphin. You said Calais Campbell. I mean, Achan's rush yards are 51.5.
I don't want to mess with the running backs and get boned. Let's see. They have Jonas. Do they have? Yeah, I mean, I don't have a strong take on other than
why don't
the linebackers are going to tackle?
Why don't we just
Josh Allen's going to run?
Why don't we keep what we had in there with Tyreek Hill receiving yards? Yeah. Although they moved it to 120.5.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, we can't get involved with
that. All right. Do we like Waddle?
That first projection must have been created by donkeys.
It's Dominic the donkey.
All right, so what are we doing, Ryan? We need one guy.
Tua?
You know what? If we're what do you want with Tua?
That he throws a pick.
Okay.
Or I don't know.
I feel like I never hit the pick and fumble ones. What about if we get freaky and do Jason Sanders?
Oh yeah, I was just looking at him. Kicking props. People love when we do
higher
props.
7 kicking points.
2.5 extra points.
Yeah, we'll do 2.5 extra points.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so we got
this is pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see if I can boost it. Oh baby.
Yes. Do we want to put one more in just because we're boosting it, Ryan?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Well, it's already at 45x for me.
Okay.
Is that enough, or should we go?
So
bigger?
wait, what do you have in there? I have higher Matt Collins.
Yep.
Higher Josh Allen touchdown.
Yeah, both any.
Jason Sanders higher 2.5 extra points, man.
And then I did a boost. So 45.01x.
Okay.
It's 37.68x for normal people.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get the NOS tank out, Ryan. We're boosting this bad boy. All right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm in.
$900 for a boost. We need a boost sound effect. Okay. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. So Matt Collins, higher a half rushing receiving touchdown. Josh Allen, higher half of rushing receiving touchdown. And Jason Sanders, higher 2.5 extra points made. We will be back tomorrow night talking week 3 college football. Thank you as always to everyone tuning in. Hit up the merch store, a bunch of great stuff in there. Appreciate all the positive reviews, and shout out to everyone who said hi in Vegas. Long list. Always appreciate shaking hands, chopping it up, and of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Oh, already week 2, Sean
Kramer. Let it ride.